Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a controversial view. Today we're going to be talking about Immaculate. Now, my history with this film is non existent. Um, it's a fairly new film. I really didn't know anything about it, and Joe and I were kind of joking around that didn't the title give it away? And I don't really focus on titles anymore. I guess it's a habit I picked up when I was younger because a lot of times the horror movies and their titles and their covers didn't really correlate sometimes. So I just watch a movie and kind of have that light bulb go on afterwards. So, as I was saying, don't really have a history with Immaculate. But right away, I noticed that it favored another film. And that other film was released within weeks. And that, of course, is The First Omen. Now, um, we will get to The First Omen as far as talking about that film, but this is more about Immaculate. So, what could be so controversial about Immaculate? Well, controversy, I shouldn't have to say this, but controversy is in the eye of the beholder. And basically, I find this controversial. If you don't, I'm sorry. I hope you enjoy the video anyway. So, what's so controversial? Today we're going to talk about how a movie gets made. Not every aspect, but a lot of aspects. So, what impresses me the most about how movies get made is when passion projects happen. And as far as I was concerned, and what I read about this film, this was a passion project. Now, this started out in 2014. It was supposed to be Marcus Nispel's follow up to Friday the 13th because he directed the remake, which I found kind of interesting. And when this started to materialize, a young, what's the girl's name? Sydney Sweeney tried out for this film when she was 17. Now, unfortunately, in 2014, the movie Immaculate never materialized. So this kind of turned into a passion project for Sydney Sweeney. And I was really surprised when I heard the lengths she went to in order to get this film made. Now, of course, now she's 27 because that was 2014. This is 2024. So she was maybe 26 at the time, maybe 25. And she is now a fairly established actress, from what I'm to gather. I don't really know a lot about her. So after she tried out for this film, the film just went dead and never went anywhere. So she took it upon herself to become the producer. This was years later. She really wanted to make this film. So she took on the role of the producer. She contacted the writer and actually acquired and changed the script to make it more, um, I guess, satisfying for the audience. She also hired a director. She got the financial people in line for making the film, and she sold the film to Neon. Now, Neon's the same company recently who did Longlegs as well. And I believe they also did Cuckoo, if I'm not mistaken. But for me, that explains how much of a passion project this is. The difference between The First Omen and Immaculate is kind of big. When you watch the film, I don't want to spoil it in case people haven't seen either one, but their stories are very similar, and they did come out within weeks of each other. Of course, the first Omen doing a lot better, I'm sure, because of the name attachment to the Omen franchise. But this is a fantastic film. Now, what's also controversial about this film is the subject matter. Now, as Joe said, I should have kind of gotten an inkling from the title Immaculate. And I don't want to say what this is about. I want you guys to use your imagination because if you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat. This movie is fantastic. It surprised me on a lot of different levels. Did I like it more than the first Omen? You're going to have to wait for Joe and my ranking to find that out. But this movie was fantastic. It surprised me. This, for me, is a hidden gem. The first Omen runs at around 2 hours. This runs at around an hour and a half, roughly. And like I said, it really surprised me. If it doesn't sound like your type of film, being a religious horror film, um, definitely, stay away from it, I guess. As Joe says, we watch these so you don't have to, but I do recommend this film. I feel like this movie is a gem, a hidden gem that really doesn't get talked about all that much. And it's a shame because I really like this film. So check it out or don't. But don't forget to check out Joe's controversial view for Immaculate. And remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.